Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Big League Chew. This is episode 313. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
Hello, Chasers. Hello, Kyle Frederick Corwin.
No, it's not it, but I'm sure our listeners get tired of hearing about our technical difficulties, but this is episode 313, and I'm still forgetting to press record. So this is take 2 on episode 313. As you can probably tell, little ill right now. And I gotta say,
time of year.
I think it is that time of year. And outside of the weather and this just being a yearly thing for me, a seasonal thing, I feel like I have you to blame for this. I feel like you're the one that's getting me sick over here because, for those who aren't aware, I was on my way home from work the other day. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? Was this yesterday?
What day is it?
I think this was yesterday. And Meredith sends me a message. She says, "Hey, enjoy your package on the couch." Was this yesterday or 2 days ago?
I think it was 2 days ago.
Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she sends me a text, says, "Hey, enjoy your package on the couch." I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I know my birthday's coming up, but like, I know that you want to be out and leave something behind for me to open when you're not there for my, like that'd just be weird. So I'm like, I have no idea what to expect when I get home. And so I get home, I walk through the door.
What happened next?
Well, I take a look at the package. It's a relatively small package. Like, it's not this huge box or anything. So I'm like, I don't know what this is. I haven't ordered anything. Well, I have ordered a couple things.
It's probably an average sized package. No need to get too judgmental here. You know.
Well, yes. Well, I'm thinking when I hear package, I think like this big box will be sitting on the couch when I walk in. That wasn't the case. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. So I go over and look at the from field, and it says Fanatics, and I'm like, oh wow, maybe this is the case. Maybe she left me a little early birthday present. Maybe got me a Sox hoodie or something. No, I open it, and immediately I see this pop of orange, and I said,
"Oh no!"
I said no.
Well, are we doing this today? Because I don't want to spoil it if we're doing it on a different day.
Well, it's already been revealed what it was.
We know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not doing it today. I don't have the letter because there's a very important series coming up this weekend. So that'll determine, again, going back to what I said last episode, that'll determine the severity of the apology. With that said, I think arriving home to that gear is what made me ill.
Probably having it in your house, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allergic to orange and blue.
I told you that I was shopping. Told you that I added to cart. It's all there.
You're a man of your word. I'll give you that. Man of conviction.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that for now, you know, until people are ready to see what you look like in orange and blue, man. Oh boy.
Truth be told, didn't think you'd go through with it, but here's a real question, and I'll let you provide input, but you're not going to have the final say. But what should I do with it after the apology?
It's hard to say. I think
should I auction it up?
Frame it.
Game worn Mets gear apology apparel.
I mean, you could probably just send it to Anthony You know, he claims he's a Red Sox fan, but he just loves his New York Mets. So I'm sure you could send it over to him. He'd probably enjoy that.
The real question, do you think the Hall of Fame would take it?
Probably, honestly. Probably.
I mean, can we think of a reasonable reason as to why they wouldn't take it?
No.
I mean, it would have to go.
Probably right next to the Big League Chew case in the hall.
Yeah. It only makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say Big League Chew?
I did. Yeah.
How about we just do it?
Just do it.
Hey, speaking of which, no, stop.
I'm going to try to do it without reading it.
Before the people that don't enjoy listen to us talk about our favorite bubblegum. Speaking of bubblegum, it is tomorrow, September 30th, is National Chewing Gum Day. So what better time? I guarantee you, I would put my life savings on it. If you go out tomorrow or today, whenever you listen to this, and get a pack of Big League Chew and come up with some little creative, heck, it does, to be honest with you, it probably doesn't even have to be creative. If you just get a pack, maybe you're watching a ball game, you put that on in the background, you got the TV up, you throw up your Big League Chew and you tag Big League Chew.
Simple as that.
10 out of 10, they're going to post it.
Yep.
And if they don't,
that's on them. It's not on us. So I don't think we have much to lose here.
I will hold myself, Michael Gary Scott, accountable.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, we have to figure out a way to celebrate tomorrow too.
We will. Don't worry. I still got packs left over. Do you?
We got to do something for the boys and girls over at Big League Chew.
Oh, man. All right. I'm going to try to remember this.
All right, I got it pulled up. Let's see how you do.
Okay.
I'm
Founded
impressed.
by former left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson, Big League Chew started from humble beginnings in the Portland Mavericks bullpen in 1977. For more than 40 years, the iconic pouches packed with shredded, flavorful bubblegum has become the #1 shredded gum of athletes everywhere. Big League Chew has sold more than 900 million pouches and is designated as the Hall of Fame bubblegum. Grab some gum and head to Big League Chew's social media channels, at Big League Chew on Twitter, at Big League Chew Gum on Instagram, to show off your Big League bubbles. You can also find a list of retailers or purchase any of their products directly from their website at bigleaguechew.com. Big League Chew!
Wow.
Let's go!
Wow.
Let's
That was incredible.
go.
I almost don't believe that you didn't have some sort of screen or monitor pulled up.
You saw my eyes covered. You saw it. It was
That
like
was fantastic.
Jordan at the free throw line with the eyes closed.
That was
Impeccable.
it was impeccable, but it was almost too suspicious because you didn't foul up once during that.
Look at
and you
this.
foul up multiple times.
I will open this phone right here, and what will you see first? Home screen. What will you see up? Settings, text. That's it. No notes.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the only place it is. I don't have it anywhere else. It's only on my phone. Honestly, it's when you wake up and choose to be great.
When you choose,
It kind of just
choose to be great.
falls right in line, just with your abilities and like the time of day, and it's just it is what it is. But I'm not here to make this about myself. Not here to do that.
Honestly, I don't even know if we need to do anything for Big League Chew tomorrow. I might just post the clip of you reeling that bad boy off from memory
Exactly.
and say, what more do you need?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Bravo.
Thank you, sir. I don't even know. I don't think I'm going to pull it up anymore. I think that's the new standard.
Yeah, you can't go back at this point.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, 61.
Whew.
It's about time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was starting to press a little bit. I think Yankees fans are starting to press a little bit. And what's crazy is that it was only like 8 games. Like, that's the gap. That's what's absurd.
Well, I mean, when you're going what seems like every other game with a home run, 6, 7, 8 games starts to really add up.
His longest streak of the year was 9 games. So I'm glad it didn't go that long.
I just hate. I don't know if I've necessarily verbalized this thought before, but I just hate that it wasn't at Yankee Stadium.
I know.
Like, you had
it was
4
super lame in
games.
Toronto.
I'm looking at you, Aaron Judge. I'm not looking at anybody else. I'm not looking at the people that made the schedule. I'm looking at you. You had 4 games against the cellar dweller Red Sox, and you couldn't put one over that little league fence.
It was teed up. It was definitely teed up. Like, the script was there. All I'm going to say is if it was Jeter, he would have done it at home against the Red Sox. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's just guys that, like, they follow the script.
Yeah, I mean, he would have put it off the base of the foul pole for a grand total distance of about 154.
Okay. It's all good.
He would have done it, though.
Yeah.
That's one of those how can you not be romantic about baseball moments if he were to do it with Maris hitting it against the Red Sox. 61 years later, he does it against the Red Sox. But no, he said, let's take this up north.
It is weird. Like, I think we kind of mentioned it before, but like, you're talking 61 home runs, 61 years apart, both right fielders, number 9, number 99. Whoa. That's pretty cool.
But he said, no, I want to make this weird, and let's take it out of the country.
Yeah, homie started pressing quite a bit. But what's crazy is that he didn't even, like, slump. He was just didn't get enough lift.
Well, on a score sheet, you could make the argument that he was a little bit. But if you're watching these games, you realize that he's putting these balls 20 feet from the warning track. Like, he's squaring them up. There was a number of instances over the course of the last week where you thought, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And
still no slump, though.
Just short of the track. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, from a baseball player's perspective, you can look at that and go, I'm swinging it fine. Like, I don't need to press.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying from a scorebook perspective, you could look at that and be like, he's gone 6, 7, 8 games without a home run. What's going on?
I know. That's crazy. That just shows you that's like, that's our expectations. You know what I mean? Like, anybody else who goes 7 games homerless, you're like, whatever, it's only 7 games. For him, you're like, what do we... Let's get it rolling here.
Yeah, I mean, JD Martinez basically went like 160 games this season without a home run. So it is what it is.
I was
do have
a bullet, though, huh? Got out of here in a hurry.
Well, that's what I was literally just about to say. That has anyone ever hit a home run that didn't end up in the bullpen in Toronto? I swear to you, every home run I see in that
Rogers
park,
Center's trash.
it just ends up in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And another thing, this guy or pair of guys that were going after the ball, what are you doing?
I'm leaning over the rail so hard that if I don't make this catch, I'm falling head first, diving into the bullpen. I'm taking that 12-foot drop on the chin. I'm getting kicked out of the game, but I'm bringing that ball with me.
If you lean over and fall, but you catch it, you can cover your medical cost. And
That's kind
then
of what
some.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But meanwhile, and I'm going to pull it up because I just want to make sure I'm not.
I don't know if you noticed, there's 2 Jays
here.
fans that cut off a Yankees fan. They like reach in front of them. And they're grown men with gloves, of course.
So he hits it. Well, I'm not judging here on this one. All right, so he hits it.
Pun intended.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
I'm a little foggy today. It's taking me a while. All right, so he hits it. The guy doesn't even.
It's not that great of an effort overall.
No, and it's not even the effort, but it's just like the after the fact. He like grabs his glove and like it's probably like, oh gosh darn it! If I miss out on a ball that's worth reported like $2 million.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like if you're fortunate enough, knowing that seemingly 99% of home run balls in Toronto end up in the bullpen, and you're fortunate enough to get a seat in the first row,
right
before the game even starts, before the first pitch is even thrown, you have to make the decision.
You have to understand,
you have to make the decision that you're either going out of here in a stretcher, or really that's it. That's the only option.
I thought Canadians were tough. I mean, you guys play hockey up there. You're willing to lose a couple teeth, and this was a poor showing. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, that's not what you expect from Canada land up there. I mean, I'm just balls to the wall. I'm coming out bloody.
Literally, balls to the wall here. Ends up in the bullpen. And then you got these two guys just looking at each other going, oh, sorry. Like, no, give me something a little better than that.
Let's go to, what's that donut place up there?
Tim Hortons.
Hortons, yeah.
Oh, sorry, let's go to Tim Hortons. we missed out. Let's go to Tim Hortons. We missed out.
Sorry.
Sorry. We missed out on a what? Hold on. What is the? All right. Let's say $2 million to Canadian dollars.
How many loonies and toonies is that?
Is that what it is? All right. So 2 million United States dollars to Canadian dollars. It's 2,742,720 Canadian dollars. Oh, sorry, we missed out on 2,742,720 million Canadian dollars. Let's go to Tim Hortons and get a donut.
I'd be haunted. I'd be in rough shape if that happened to me.
What a pathetic showing! Like that's all I have to say on that matter.
I'm hopping down. Honestly, if I don't make the catch, I'm still hopping down.
Well, they made people on social media are making a good point. Like, if you do something illegal to get the ball, you're surely not going to be able to keep the ball. Like, you could say
9/10 of the law. I don't know about in Canada, but here, that bad boy's going to my pocket, and you're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Throw me in jail, but I'm keeping that ball right in my pocket.
Stick it in your butt and say, come get it.
What do you think Canadian jail is like?
They probably got...
I bet it's nice.
They probably got like a pancake bar.
I bet no one's in there.
No.
It's just empty.
No, because...
They're like throwing pancakes away every day because it's like, didn't bring anybody in.
No, the police shows up to the scene. If they even have police. Like, do they have police up in Canada? Like, aren't the people too
Mounties.
Nice?
They have Mounties.
That's right. So he shows up on a horse in his little British getup.
Yeah.
And he says, "What's going on here, fellas?" And they look at each other and they say, "You're right. I'm sorry." And then the other guy says, "Hey, it's all right. I forgive you. Let's go to Hortons and share a donut."
There you go.
That's it. Nobody gets thrown in jail.
Nobody goes to jail. Not a thing. It's pristine in there. Urinal cakes are still fresh in that jail cell.
Urinal cakes, pancakes are going dry, but hey, keep them out of the system. Keep them in the Tim Hortons and keep them out of the system.
That's right.
Roger Maris Jr., did you see his remarks afterwards?
Sure did. 100% back it. I don't care what any of you goons are saying. He's right.
He says he should be revered for being, he said a lot more, but he said he should be revered for being the actual single season home run champ. That's really who he is if he hits 62.
Bingo.
Which is wild if you really think about it. Like, zoom out for just a second and just think about the fact that he's been sitting on this take for over a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been waiting. As Judge has gotten closer to 61, he's had to formulate because they bring him out to every freaking game, which that's another thing. That would suck if you're Roger Maris Jr. and the Yankees are just
a long trip,
dragging you all over the country, it seems like, for this.
I think he
another
volunteered
country
for it. I don't think the Yankees were asking him to be there. I think they invited the family there when it was the Sox series in New York. But obviously, for anybody that watched the game, it was just Mom and then Roger Maris Jr.
Which, side note, I did not realize that Aaron Judge was adopted.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't think I ever put two and two together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Another side note, a tangent off my tangent.
What a lottery ticket, by the way, huh? What an adoption. Like,
yeah, no kidding.
Man. Struck gold there.
Unreal. Just roll the dice. Oh, Aaron Judge.
I think it was like literally the day after he was born, though. So it wasn't like he was like 17. And you're like,
oh, no.
He's 6'5", and you're like, you know what?
Hey, this kid's got some potential.
I think I'm gonna put my money on him.
He looks like he has an athletic pedigree. No, but tangent off the tangent. Why does his mom not have an authentic MLB jersey? Why are we hooking her up? It's not even a Nike replica.
Yeah,
she's been sitting on this jersey, it seems like, for a number of years. Which maybe there's some sort of sentimental value there. Maybe it's like a lucky jersey. But I'm like, can we get this woman?
That was the first day she wore it. She hadn't been wearing it the last couple of days.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So either that or maybe someone gave it to her. I don't know.
The whole Maris thing, this is just me. I'm entitled to my own opinion. I could be way off here. Well,
have your opinion, pal. I want you to have your opinion.
I'm just gonna say, I don't think, and again, my opinion, I may be way off base here. I don't think anybody in the Maris family was hoping that this would happen. Like, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself if you or someone very close to you or someone you're even related to does something incredible, and that's kind of like what they're known for, and that's what gets celebrated every year. If for sports, for example, if it's something that gets talked about on a yearly basis. Nobody. It's kind of like the Dolphins. What year did they go undefeated? 70.
Oh, 72, I think.
72. Yeah, like, if you're the
71.
Dolphins for that whole time, you never want anybody to come anywhere near that.
No.
And I feel like the same thing applies here for the Maris family. Like, oh yeah, we got to clap. Like, he plays the game the right way. We're happy for him. But like, no, you want to keep that in the family. You don't want to have to share that or eventually lose it should he's hit 62.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I think that's probably the sentiment before they come in for these games. And I think just like after probably meeting his family, it's just like, I think that may hit change a little bit. And it's like, you know what? I'm glad this is the guy that's doing it. You know, I'm glad it's a Yankee. And he's the one that rattled off all the similarities, the 99, the 9, the right field, the 61 years. Like, he's the one that said all that stuff. So I think it was probably a little bit of a blessing in disguise that it was Judge that did it versus anybody else for them. I think that's the best way to lose that record.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you're faced with the reality of like, okay, it's inevitable at this point. It's going to happen. So like, at least it's him is what it sounds like. But
yeah,
I just felt bad for the guy because I'm like, they're dragging this guy all over to every game. He's having to sit here with a presumably fake smile.
Yeah,
just like pretending like he's happy that his dad's record's gonna get overtaken. I don't know. That's just me.
Definitely bittersweet. Has to be.
Definitely bittersweet. Where are we at
gave the ball to Mama. Did you see that?
I did see that.
I think that's cool, man. That's cool.
And that's what we talked about. Like, if you get the ball back, you either keep it or you give it to somebody that's close to you. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine that was retrieved by like stadium staff or somebody in the pen, right?
Zach Britton actually got it.
Oh, did he grab it?
Yeah. And then the authenticator was like basically right on top of it. Came out, and I think he had a little scan thing to go check the juiced ball and say, hey, this is the real one.
Yeah. Yeah. So like at that point, it's not like you're obligated to give it back to anybody because nobody caught it.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, you either keep it for yourself or give it to somebody near and dear to your heart.
Honestly, I think that was like the best case scenario with it being away, like with it being in Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this was the best way to do it. Like nobody got it.
Yeah, because
everyone's obsessed. Everyone was so obsessed with the value of the ball. And it's like I get that we've been through this. You know, there's milestones that players have reached where fans get excited but it's just like I think this was the best case scenario since it didn't happen in New York.
Yeah, because otherwise, if that gets picked up by a Canadian, that ball is going to end up in a cup of Tim Hortons coffee by the end of the night, probably.
Yeah. Just powdered sugar dusted all over it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, do they like powdered sugar donuts up there? I bet they're just regular, plain old, non-glazed donuts.
Non-glazed,
you know those?
Yeah, old-fashioned donuts.
Those are not it. I mean, if you're eating those,
I'd eat them. I don't see the problem.
If that's the only choice,
sure.
I'm not choosing.
Oh no shot.
Choosing an OG.
No shot.
Donut with I mean, it's literally just cake.
And you're acting as though that's a bad thing to eat. I don't get the old-fashioned slander here. Anyway,
yeah, it's like non-flavored cake. Have you ever just taken a cake out of the oven and gone after it? You're a psycho if that's the case.
No, but my point is if that's what somebody takes out of the oven and puts on your plate and they say, "Here you go," I'm not going to be like, "No."
I'm going to be like, "Do you have icing?"
Sure, but if there is no icing or glaze or sprinkles available, that's what I'm going to eat.
Yeah, I think I would move on.
I did not think Tim Hortons was getting this much coverage today. I didn't anticipate
a lot of free ads. Did not
anticipate.
Head over to Tim Hortons today.
Head over to Tim Hortons. Where are we at on the Triple Crown watch?
I think Arias is like a point or 2 points behind in batting average. Xander's kind of dropped off. I think he's below. I think he's like 309 now. Xander.
Oh wow.
They showed a graphic during the game, but
yeah, they're both at 313. I thought that said 318. I don't have my contacts in. I can't see. I was like, this dude's 5 points up heading into the weekend. Yeah, that's a lock. No, it's 313. 313 to 313. So we're down to like the 1,000th decimal place for average.
Arias is right there.
Yeah. Unless Mike Trout hits 23 home runs over the weekend, I think he's got the I think Judge has the lock on home runs.
Sounds about right. RBIs aren't anywhere close. I think it was Jose Ramirez that was the next closest, right?
Jose Ramirez is 11 behind. So unless Jose Ramirez has a couple grand slams, or a few, I should say.
Yeah.
I think we're good there.
The average is going to be tough, but I think that's what you're seeing is that like he's not expanding his zone. Judge is just taking his walks. He had like 13 walks or something like that in the last 7 or 8 games. So he's not expanding the zone, and it's basically like Arias is going to have to hit his way out of that. Or, someone useful in Minnesota, just one useful person in Minnesota can just run into him with a car. Just not that hard.
Okay.
Not that hard. Not that hard.
No.
Just a little bump. Just give me a little assistance here.
That's
Judge's gonna have to earn it, man.
That's not.
I want it. I want it bad.
That's not earning it the clean way, man. So the Yankees clinch the East. Congrats. You have. I'll give you 10 seconds to say whatever it is that you want about the Yankees clinching the East, and then we're going to move on.
They righted the ship. That's all I need to say.
Well said. The Cardinals, speaking of clinching, grabbed the Central. Talk about righting the ship. They were behind Milwaukee for most of the season. At the end of July, they were 4 games back.
Back where they belong. Did we both have the Cardinals winning the Central? I think we did.
Yeah, that was like one of our 2 correct picks, probably. Actually, no, I think you did far better than I did. I don't know where it is. What was I saying? Oh, July 31st. Since that date, the Cardinals are 37-17 and the Brewers are 25-28. Actually, that may be slightly adjusted because
when did the Brewers trade Hader away?
Wasn't it on deadline day?
Yeah, what's their record been since then? Because that was the old kick to the crotch morale-wise that we talked about. And it doesn't even matter what Hader was doing. What's deadline day again?
Was it?
I don't know.
It was some weird day.
I have no idea.
Was it the 2nd?
Sure.
Come on, man.
2nd, 3rd.
Yes, August 2nd. That's what I thought. Okay. Brewers record since August 2. Milwaukee. Go ahead and guess. Give me your guess. Actually, hold on.
Well, I mean, you just said July 31st. They were like 3 games under, right? 25 and 28.
Well, no, that's what I said. I think that those numbers may be outdated because I may have gotten this information prior to like the last game or two, so it might be slightly tweaked. What the Cardinals are what since August 2, since the deadline?
The Cardinals? That we're doing the Brewers.
I know. Just give me the Cardinals and then give me the Brewers.
28-15.
36-18.
Hope.
I guess I should have given you the number of games.
Probably.
That would have been
Brewers.
All right, hold on. Let me do this quick math in my head here.
I got to get my math right.
53 games since August 2. What's their record? Yeah, now math's on you.
53 games.
53 games.
I'm going to go with 23-30. Nice and easy.
So in other words, that's not your real guess. You just didn't want to do the math otherwise. 26-27. They are losing ball clubs since the trade deadline.
I'm telling you, that was an old kick to the crotch that you had dudes like in the clubhouse like visually upset. And they verbalized it to reporters. Like they were upset that Hader got bounced. And it doesn't even matter what Hader did. I know he went through that slump over the last weeks after he got traded.
Nobody could see that coming.
No, not even the Brewers. As genius as you think that move was, the Brewers did not see that happening. There's no way that the Brewers clubhouse responded well to that, and it had to affect this stretch. It had to.
If the Brewers did somehow see that coming, they need to be investigated. There needs to be a documentary made about that because that's borderline illegal, what you just did to the Padres.
Yeah.
No, my favorite part about that, when that whole trade went down, is like you just said, that you had people visibly upset, visibly confused as to what their front office just did by offloading, at the time, one of the best relievers in baseball. I know even leading up to the deadline, he was on a little bit of a skid, but all things considered,
he's one of the greatest closers of all time. Like, I think we can say that.
Yeah.
No problem.
And you just offload him in a postseason race.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have people on the team that play for the team that are upset and confused. And you had people, there were people like messaging me being like, no, dude, what are you talking about? This move was exactly what they needed to do. And again, nobody saw him doing what he was going to eventually do. Nobody saw that coming. But for you to sit there and tell me that that our collective take of this being just so off the radar and seemingly unnecessary, for you to call that a weird, like an unnecessary take, tell that to the guys that played with, like, that were on the team. I don't know.
And you're talking about a fan favorite. I mean, you're talking about a Hall of Famer, and it's like, that's not something you do, man. That's not what you do when you're in the race. There's no way that brought positivity to the Brewers. No shot. You can't convince me of it.
Go
Cardinals.
I was gonna say, not to take away from the Cardinals here, because they're the ones that clinched the division. Did you see Pujols' post-game speech afterwards?
A little cringy. How'd you feel about it?
I didn't necessarily think so. I mean, it wasn't
bad.
It wasn't bad, but it was more, to me,
It's a little cheesy, right?
No, if I hear that, if I'm in the clubhouse and I hear that speech, afterwards, I'm going to need you to hand me a flute of champagne and we can sit and talk about the intricacies of life.
Right.
And the meaning of life.
It was a little too there was too much of like, enjoy this moment, but you earn this, but it's like, bro, just be in the moment. Like, yes, we all know what we're trying to do here. There's no need to state it. Like, yes, we're not here to win the division. We're trying to win a ring.
He was trying to impart some of his veteran wisdom. But my point is,
and I get that. That makes sense. You got to do that.
And again, I didn't have anything wrong with the speech, but I'm just saying afterwards, you're going to need to hand me a flute of champagne or maybe even a glass of wine, and we can talk about the meaning of life. Afterwards, after I hear that, I'm not,
rosé.
I'm not going to want to like smash bottles over my head and blast freaking Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Like that's just me. But that's the only thing. Otherwise, the speech itself, solid. I like the part at the end where he said,
me up.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily gas me. To be fair, though, if you think about it, there's really only a few guys I feel like in the league between coaches and managers and players that could really do that in a non-cringy way. So the odds are kind of stacked against you at that point. But I did like the part at the end where he was talking about like why we're here, what we do this for. He was like, we make good money, but this is what we play for. And you could see the guys behind him like cracking a smile. I'm like, yeah, you guys do make pretty good money.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah. Oh, weird. I'm wearing $350 Oakley goggles and I don't ski. So I'm pretty sure they make good money. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh wait, I actually don't care if we win or lose. Like, I've got a fat check
bag
waiting for me at home. I actually don't care about this.
Bonus check for winning the division. Thanks, Albert. I appreciate the reminder.
Albert, I couldn't care less about your record. Go jump off a bridge. I don't care. I got a bag.
I got my money.
All of this is coming to light as Albert's talking.
Yeah.
It's basically how it went down. The Brewers, though. Back to the Brewers.
Brew Crew.
Still somehow pulling up the rear in this race. Philadelphia Phillies. Let me talk to you for a second. What are you doing? What are we doing collectively? What are as a resident Phillies fan? What are we doing? Because this is what, the second year in a row now that this has happened?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. What happened in 2020? Were the Phillies even...
None of it matters. Still, Still fell short. There's still disappointment. There's still a disappointment. I don't understand.
If you can't beat
look at that
the
lineup.
Cubs.
Yeah.
We had the same conversation. Who was it with? No, this was also Philly last year. Didn't they end the year with Miami? And it's like, if you can't,
Yeah, probably.
all you have to do is win a series against Miami, and you're in.
Not clutch.
Like, at what point do you just throw in the towel and say, hey, maybe we're not built for October. Maybe we're not meant to be here.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, they have a heck of a lineup. They really do. And you're losing to the Brewers, man. Behind the Brewers.
They ended the season last year with a loss to the Pirates, followed by a sweep at the hands of the Atlanta Braves. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lose 2 of 3 to the Marlins. In the course of 7 games, you get 1 win. And now you're staring down the barrel of a repeat outcome.
Soft.
Which you just know, and I don't want to put this in stone because weirder things have happened, but you just know if somehow the Brewers sneak in, that's going to be the most pitiful playoff bounce.
Yeah.
At this point,
That
I don't
series
think
is going to be a snoozer.
neither of those teams deserve to grab that 3rd spot. This is a joke.
I know. That's kind of going back to like the rule changes. This is what we were afraid of. This is why you have to think about when you're expanding playoff spots. Because it's come down to the last weekend and we're really only talking about 2 teams. The AL is pretty much set. So it's like we're talking about 2 teams, the Brewers and the Phillies, 2 teams that just super underwhelming.
And you switch sides here. You look at the American League. It took expanding the postseason to, barring a miracle, elicit the end of the drought, the postseason drought for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from them. They've had a good
point.
year. But I'm just saying,
point.
This is what happens when you expand. Like these things, these are just results of what happened. Whether good or bad, this is what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. You got to earn this spot. And it's just like, you know, when you look at the Brewers and you look at the Phillies, you're like, you just know. At least on the AL side of things, you feel like those teams could make a run. The Rays know how to put together a postseason run. The Blue Jays are equipped to do it. And the Mariners, even though they snuck in, they have the pieces to
They'll give you a
do some
competitive
damage.
series.
Yeah. Are the Brewers really? No. Are the Phillies? Clearly not. This is what happens. This is what happens when you expand. We let 18 teams into the postseason. It's like, I don't need to see any 500 ball club struggling to hang on. Then they're still in the conversation. I don't want that. Stupid.
Let me play devil's advocate here. The odds of every team heading into the postseason on fire.
True. It's a good point.
Is also very slim. So
it's a good point.
You're going to at least have
absolutely
one or two
good
teams
point.
struggling. It's just
Also
it's
on that-
unfortunate when it's the team when it's down to two teams trying to finalize that last spot, and they're both like it'd be different if one team was just surging, and if it was the Brewers, for example, and the Phillies just fall off. It's like, okay, Brewers, you got it, take it and run with it. But neither team, they're just trying to see like how slowly they can make it to the finish line. That's really
a good point.
What it is.
And I mean, on the other side of it, with teams that this does allow that second seed team to get some rest, which I think is a good thing. And yes, probably a little bias here. For the example, the Yankees are struggling to get healthy. They're struggling to rest up, and it's like now they're going to have 5 days off to chill, and I think that is another good positive thing to this. Is that it allows more than one team to get back to fully healthy and rested. So I can appreciate that. But still, this is what you're going to have for those bottom feeding teams. I just wish that they were, I don't know. We're a sucker for inspiring Cinderella type stories in baseball. I think every fan is, and just we're not getting it from the NL side.
And between the two, you could make the argument based on Milwaukee's recent postseason history. They've been there, done that over the course of the last however many years. But Philly, get me Philly in there. But I don't want a beaten, bruised, and battered Philly that is 2-8 in their last 10 when they finally get to the end of the season. I don't want that.
Yeah, get hot, get going.
Give me
Bryce Harper. Show me why you're Bryce Harper. I need it. I need it this weekend. I said it last week. I'm saying it again. Show me why you're Bryce Harper. Show me why you have that bag. I need to see it. Nick Castellanos, welcome back. Get going right away. Don't come back for. I have him on fantasy in one of the teams, and he comes back for 2 days, and then he's off. No, this is a haunt, dude. You were brought in here to be here for this moment. No days off. Soft.
This is what I said a week or two ago with Phillies. I think it was a 4-gamer with Atlanta, I want to say.
That's all they've played for the last month and a half. They've played. I swear, the AL East or the NL East has just been playing each other so much. It's weird.
I think this was last week, because I think they came off a 4-gamer this past weekend, and I was like, "Look, Philly, show up."
I think they split, right?
They split, which so their credit, okay,
in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, you didn't lose the series. That's about the basement for me. That's the bottom line. That's about as low as it gets. If you could have won the series, even better. But you're really gonna need to show up, and it starts with today's game. By the time you guys are hearing this, the game will probably be over. But they got here in half an hour. They're starting up against Chicago before they head into the weekend series. But it's just give me a win against Chicago.
Yeah, big win. Like step on their throat kind of win. That's what I need.
Otherwise, it's just I don't care. I don't want to see, unless I see inspiring baseball from really either team, from the Phillies or the Brewers. I don't care. I don't want to see in the postseason.
I can't imagine being inspired by the Brewers. They're the most lukewarm team.
I'll give it to the Phillies, man. They got when they're cooking, they're cooking. Citizens Bank can get me fired up. I've seen it.
Phillies fans are psychopaths. We all know that. Everybody in Philadelphia is nuts.
But they're not going to have anything to go psycho about if you don't show up. And I hate to say it, but
the last 3 games against Houston is going to be an issue.
Yeah. Not ideal.
I cannot believe they lost the series to the Cubs.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I cannot believe it. It's so embarrassing.
4 straight losses, it looks like.
4 games against the Nationals. You know how to beat them. You got to take 2 out of 3 from Houston. Garbage.
Absolute garbage. Speaking of garbage, think we can say farewell to the White Sox and the Twins. Tell me your thoughts on the Twins. I feel like you've got some takes.
Just a waste. Just a waste of a franchise. What are you still doing there? What is Target doing being okay putting their name on your horrible, horrible, embarrassing franchise in your stadium? I mean, what would you pay? Honestly, what ticket price would you pay to sit anywhere in that field? You're like 600 feet away from any closest player, no matter where you are in that stadium. Just a bag of hot garbage. All of it.
Just because I haven't been there, I'd probably pay like $6.25.
It's fair. I think that's a solid estimate.
That's about all I'm willing to part ways with to catch a Twins game.
We give him $6 Canadian and 2 loonies.
And a Tim Hortons donut.
Yeah. That's all you're getting. Just a waste, dude. Just like, ew. Everything they are, everything they do.
They were who you thought they were.
Correa just had like the most average year. Like, imagine if you're, first of all, imagine being a Twins fan.
Nate loves his whiteboard.
Oh. Second of all, imagine if you're like, yes, we got the top free agent. And he comes in and does this. What do you have? Let's look at the numbers here. Let's see where this goon is at. .287, 21 home runs, 61 RBIs, 826 OPS. And what did he make this year? $35 million.
He's probably going to opt out and
peace out.
Be asking for an even larger bag somehow, because that's apparently what he does.
He makes up 29% of their payroll.
Love that. I love that for them.
I mean, just what a waste. What a waste.
Wait, you never answered. What would you spend for a ticket for Target Field?
I told you $6 and 2 loonies.
What is a loony?
I think they're like pennies or something. Look it up. They have like loonies and toonies and goonies or whatever. That it's like they're, instead of like penny, nickel,
and the
dime.
Monstars.
It's in there. Check it out.
So if you spent $6 and $6 Canadian and 2 loonies, how would the $20 that you'd save using SeatGeek factor into that?
It's a lot of loonies saved. I would probably drink myself to sleep if I had to sit at Minnesota Target Field watching this garbage team try to compete. Just trash. I'm a bigger believer in the Brewers than I am the Twins.
I'm a bigger believer in SeatGeek than I am of loonies.
How much is a loony worth? You read your thing. I'm going to look up.
Let me see if I can do mine from memory.
Good luck.
All right, here we go. I'm going to pull up the standings so I don't have the other screen up. All right. It's the answer to all your ticket needs. You're looking for tickets, you have plans with friends or family to make it to an upcoming game or concert, or you're even looking months ahead to nail down a date to get tickets before they sell out. With SeatGeek, you can find tickets at games, concert shows, and even theater performances with just a few easy clicks. We're making it even better for you if you're a first-time user of SeatGeek. Next time you add some tickets to your cart, use our promo code 30TAKE. That's our social handle at checkout to save $20 instantly off your first purchase as a first-time user. It's all you got to do to save some of that.
Cold hard cash.
Enter promo code 30TAKE. That's our social handle at checkout. SeatGeek. Not bad for being foggy in the head with a sinus infection.
Pretty good. Yeah. Save 20 loonies. I guess a loonie is $1. But it's a coin.
That's not a real thing.
But it's a coin.
Dude, I found out, talking about currency, did you know that there used to be $500 bills?
Yeah, I used to steal them all the time from the bank in Monopoly.
Okay, well, I'm talking about real money here. Did you know who was on the $500 bill?
Mr. Money Pits?
I don't even know who that is. Grover Cleveland.
Oh, cool.
They were discontinued in 1969.
Wow, that's really late to discontinue that. That's real late in the game to scratch something like that.
It started in 1945 and were discontinued 24 years later in 1969.
Yeah, I mean, imagine carrying one piece of paper that was worth more than your wallet.
Did you know there used to be a $1,000 bill too?
Who's on that one?
That's a great question.
Who would you put on it?
Bryce Harper.
Robbie Manfred.
Who is that? I can't see. Who would you put on the $1,000 bill? Wait,
somebody that just needs way more credit.
The original $1,000 bill featured Alexander Hamilton. And then possibly Grover Cleveland? I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm gonna put like Betty White on the $1,000 bill.
There you go.
Just a legend.
Respect.
You know? Yeah.
Someone who deserves, like you just said, someone who deserves more credit. Hence,
exactly.
Bryce Harper. Put him on the $1,000 bill.
Him and Betty White. One side Betty, one side Bryce. We're out here just solving world problems.
That's a solid piece of currency if I've ever had one.
Yeah.
Closing the book. Tyler Glasnow made his return. Long-awaited return. 3 strikeouts, 3 innings versus the Guardians. Hot off the press, Yadi Molina has been named manager of Team Puerto Rico for the 2023 World Baseball Classic.
I like that. I
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love that. And lastly here, weekend series preview. Before we get out of here. We only had one weekend series preview because, to be quite honest with you, there's really only one that matters right now. The Mets at the Braves. Game 1, you got Chris Bassett going up against Max Fried. Bassett is 15-8. Hold on, I need to get close. I can't see.
That place is going to be absolutely just bumping.
I don't want to give you the wrong information here, so I'm going to get nice and close and personal here. Actually, no, I'm just going to make the text bigger.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
The zoom. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now I can see.
Look at that.
Look at that.
There we go. Get comfy.
Modern technology. But the 8s still look like 3s, man. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have an astigmatism. Chris Bassett, 15-8 with a 3.27. Opponents hitting 233 off him. His last outing was 8 innings against Oakland, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 Ks, and 1 walk. Max Fried, 13-7 with a 2.50 ERA. Opponents hitting 226 off him. His last outing was 5 innings against the Phillies, 1 earned run on 5 hits, 8 Ks, and 1 walk. Game 2. Jacob deGrom versus Kyle Wright. DeGrom is 5-3 with a 2.93. Opponents hitting 169 off him. Last outing was 4 innings against the A's, 5 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 Ks, and 4 walks. Kyle Wright, 20-game winner, 20-5 with a 3.18. Opponents hitting 229 off him. His last outing was 5 1/3 versus the Phillies, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 6 Ks, and 2 walks. Game 3, Max Scherzer going up against Charlie Morton. Scherzer's 11-4 with a 2.13. Opponents hitting 199 off him. Last outing versus the A's, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 7 Ks, and 1 walk. Charlie Morton, 9-6 with a 4.29. Opponents hitting 227. Last outing versus the Phillies, 4 2/3 with 6 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 Ks, and 3 walks. Offensively, for the Mets, Pete Alonso is 10 for his last 39 entering Thursday. He's got 5 home runs, 18 ribbies, and 8 Ks. For the Braves, Matt Olson, 9 for his last 36, 2 home runs, 5 ribbies, and 14 Ks over the course of his last 10 games entering Thursday.
It's who you want. It's who you want lined up. I mean, both pitchers. For both teams, it's like this is what you want. You got DeGrom and Scherzer, Bassett. I mean, that's your 1, 2, 3. I'm assuming. This is perfectly lined up.
Look, I mean, Mets, if you want to make me suffer, if you want the next episode.
Honestly, I want the Braves to win the series or win the division, but I need the Mets. I need this apology letter.
Here's the thing.
Need it bad.
Barring a sweep, which even at that point, I don't think the division would necessarily be over, right? Because you got to play
up 1. Yeah,
you got to play through next week, so we may be looking at another week before this apology episode hits,
unless they're not divisional matchups after that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if one team, say the Braves take 2 of 3 or something. It's like, well, then I just feel like we're back right where we started. Because I think at that point they'd be all knotted up.
I mean, both have a cakewalk when it's over.
Yeah.
The Mets go to D.C., I think.
No, I thought you said the Phillies go to D.C.
D.C. comes to Nationals come to the Mets. And
wait, I thought
Braves
you said the
go
Phillies.
To Marlins.
I thought you said the Phillies play the Nets next week.
They do. That's first. It's during this series. This series, while the Braves and the Mets are playing, the Phillies are playing the Nationals.
Right. Okay.
And then the Phillies end with the Astros for a 3-game set. So, assuming both Braves and Mets are capable of sweeping that last series, this could be a very big series. The biggest.
This could be it.
So, I'm going to need the Mets to pull this out. Very much enjoy apology letter with very precise decision making on said gear.
All right. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. That's all I got, unless you got anything else.
No, not really. No. Everybody in Florida, hope you're safe. Yikes. Whoa. Some scary stuff going on. Why do people stay there? Why do people stick around?
Some people can't get out, man. I don't know.
It's just crazy. Seeing sharks in the streets. McLarens just being swept away out of their garage. I saw this video of this lady, like, on a raft in her living room, and there's 5 feet of water. The fridge is floating, and she's on a raft, and she's like filming it. It's just weird that people are just like immediately wanting to put that on social media. Like, your home is ruined, your stuff's floating away. You might not make it out of here alive, but let's go ahead and throw that on social media real quick. We live in a wild time. So don't be like those goons. Don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.